It brought good money.
We was done in the bed
But
when Kelly
I was
Chrissy called
always
me.
into everything. When
Oh,
Daddy
when Dad
worked
was
on
going to
cars,
bed, and we're sitting up here talking
uh,
to Gilly and her husband
I
now.
used to be the one that had
So
all
we
his
had
tools
Joey
out on
telling
the ground,
stories.
and he'd be up under the car, and he'd tell me
They're
any
showing
wrench
pictures
he
and
wanted,
stuff.
the size of it, and I knew exactly every wrench he had. If he wanted 9/16 or 7/8 or what,
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't nothing
They
but a
go over
kid.
town after a while.
Yeah.
I don't know what we'll
Janie,
do.
she never was a good worker.
So,
She was a
I'll
pouter.
come home tomorrow, and again,
She
I
would
don't
pout
know.
if they
I was
asked her
wondering
to
about
do
the
anything.
traffic and
She'd
the
do it and
New
then
Year's
pout
Eve,
for
whether
2
it should
hours
be on the
because she
road or
had to
not.
do it.
Yeah.
If I don't wait too late.
I was always willing and energetic and wanted to help, and I wanted to learn everything and anything that I
Well,
could
you've
learn.
learned everything and anything.
Yes.
Whatever, I'll let you
I
know
wanted to
what
know
I
it
decide
all.
to do.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to know all them wrenches, which one was which and what and all that. And so Daddy quit asking
I'll catch you later.
Janie to do anything.
All right, love you.
But he did whip her good one time because we had some geese. We had a bunch of white geese. I think we had 9 white geese. And he told Janie, he said, you watch them geese and take care of them. You see them going toward the creek, you run them back to the barn. Don't let them go down there and get on that creek. They won't come back. They'll swim away with the creek. Well, we lost some geese. And Daddy said Janie didn't watch the geese. And he gave her a good whipping. But he soon got tired of fooling with Janie because she didn't cooperate good. And he started asking me to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I wound up doing everything all his life for him.
Yeah.
I had to do all the reading of the mail to him, take him to the banks, take him to this, to the doctor. I even had to take him riding when he got to where he didn't drive no more. I had to take him out riding.
Yeah.
I
Just
did
to see the
too.
countryside, huh?
We both did.
Yeah.
He used to make me so mad going to town to the grocery store, and Daddy could talk the ears off of an elephant.
Imagine that. I think we come by that honestly.
Talk to these checkout girls, and people be lined up all the way back to the meat counter, and he'd be standing there just talking. I said, "Come on, Daddy, we gotta go. There's people in line here. Oh, girl, I want to talk to this pretty girl." And he'd just be shooting the bull after he done checked out and everything. Keep you in town for 4 or 5 hours.
But Daddy never did drink.
Yeah.
He didn't drink whiskey or beer, and he never did smoke. He wouldn't eat gravy. He never would drink coffee.
Why didn't he eat gravy?
He didn't like it.
I didn't like it. We was raised on it.
I
And he
guess.
drank iced tea year round. I don't care if it was 40 below zero. He'd be drinking iced tea for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Breakfast, iced tea.
He run with a friend of his at the saloons around E-Town long ago in the 20s and 30s. And they had some rough ones around E-Town then. E-Town was wet back then, and it was rough. And this guy's name was Henry Hodge. And Daddy said they'd go in. There was one, this road right out here after you get at the end of the lane going that way toward Hodgenville. There was one up there on the hillside called the Yellow Jacket. And there was a Bloody Bucket.
The bloody bucket.
Bloody bucket.
Yeah, they were just little old shacky houses on the side of a hill or somewhere. And they sold beer and stuff. And then there was,
Bootleg.
they called them road houses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And when I was 6 and 7 years old, I'd follow after Daddy wherever he was going, and he'd go in them roadhouses to get him a Coke. He was a Coke fiend.
He drank Cokes all his life.
And I remember what impressed me was them floors in them. Them was the greasiest floors I ever saw. They were black, and if you didn't watch, you'd slide down. They'd grease them floors
Why?
with oil. I couldn't get over them floors.
Why would they grease the floors with oil?
Yeah,
Why would they do that though?
I guess to keep them down to dust and dirt or something.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why they oiled them floors with a mop. But I couldn't get over them floors being so black and oily and dirty. Mama
go get a
was
shower.
Mama was in that log cabin. She was the cleanest all her life. She was the cleanest woman you ever saw. I told her one day, Mama, it's a wonder you got any counters left on your cabinets because you swipe them, wipe them.
Yeah.
It's a wonder they ain't gone. We wiped them away.
And she sweep the floor 100 times a day. If she couldn't sweep the floor, she'd go out in the yard and sweep the dirt up, getting cinders from and coal and
When
stuff.
we lived in that log cabin, when springtime comes, she'd get by whitewash, and we'd whitewash all the trees up high as we could reach.
Why would she do that?
To make that, the people used to do that. That was the thing.
You'd paint the trees white?
Yeah, people would
The
paint the
trunk.
trees white.
Yeah.
Keep the bugs off or something.
I don't know why they did it. To
I
make
don't
it
know
look
either.
better, I
They used to do
guess.
it. Some people still do it.
I've seen them, yeah.
And they didn't have paint back then. They whitewashed the posts and the fences and things.
What does that mean, though? If they didn't have paint, what was it?
Well, if people was too poor to buy paint, you could get something to call whitewash.
Mm-hmm.
You put it in water and it would turn stuff white.
And like,
Well,
like a paste or
she
something.
whitewashed our hen house and the back house.
Mm-hmm.
She whitewashed them and the trees in the yard. And she took planks and 2x4s, not ones like come out of the store. These has been hand run, there's old 2x4s. And we would put stakes beside them to make them stand up and put them around that log cabin.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to the woods and got dirt and hauled it in with the horses or something. Well, we had sleds and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we would bring wood dirt in and put it all around that cabin and plant zinnias and marigolds and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And in the springtime and all, that's when you'd come up on that cabin, it looked like an enchanted cottage.
I believe it did.
Because we would have it all fixed. There was our swing. And those were persimmon trees in our yard that has persimmons on them.
Mm-hmm.
That Daddy put the plank up in between. And she was real particular about everything like that. But the on here, if you can look and see, at the back of the house,
Mm-hmm.
that was the kitchen in just one big room.
Yeah, I see that.
Well, the kitchen wasn't even sealed. It just had outside boards, and where the cracks was, they had a little thin board about this wide, and they put over the crack.
Mm-hmm.
But on the inside, it wasn't no wall. And the window is set on a 2x4, and when you want to open up the window, they had a little strip along the bottom and the top to hold the window in place. And when you want to open the window, just slide it back on that 2x4 out of the way.
Just take the window out.
You just slide it back out of the way.
Yeah.
And we couldn't even afford screen.
Yeah.
Mama took real close knit curtains that she had and went outside the cabin and tacked it around the wall, around the window to keep the flies from getting in
Yeah.
with window curtain in the springtime.
Wow.
All kinds of stuff like that.
But did it still let air in?
Huh?
Oh yeah, I let air come through it.
Air would still come
The
through it?
net.
Yeah, the air could come through the curtain, but the flies couldn't get through it.
Yeah.
To keep the flies out of the house. You see all these old pictures with front doors wide open,
Mm-hmm.
the windows open, flies in and out, bugs fight flies while you're eating and all that. Well, Mama, she'd solve everything. And the log cabin had what they're putting on in stores now. I see what they call tongue groove lumber. You know what that is?
Onion groove.
You know what it is? Tongue groove
Yeah.
lumber.
Yeah.
It's lumber that locks in other planks, they lock in. Well, they were on the walls of the log cabin. Right now, that's about the highest lumber you can buy.
Mm-hmm.
I see it in a lot of the restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
It was already on the walls. Daddy then built that log cabin. had built it for some other man long time before he moved out of Louisville to it with us.
Mm-hmm.
But Momma, it was back then, wallpaper was real popular. And she wanted wallpaper, but there was wood on the walls of the log cabin. And so she saved up boxes and from the grocery store, cardboard boxes. And we went to work of putting these cardboard boxes edge to edge all over the walls of the log cabin with roofing nails.
Yeah.
And we covered all the walls in that log cabin with these cardboard boxes. And then Mom took what they used to buy, sugar and flour in big 100-pound bags in a cloth bag. She saved them, and she made me clothes out of some that come with flowers and rosella and all. But they had white ones that the sugar come in was kind of heavy made. Well, she took them and she pasted them, I think with her own paste that she made out of some kind of flour and stuff, on over those nail heads. She just put the whole bag up. Yeah, until we covered all the walls with that.
So your walls were white with flower bags?
Yeah. And then she bought her some wallpaper, and it was the loudest paper I ever saw in my life.
Really? What did it look like?
It was big flowers, grand big flowers. That was the style then.
Yeah. What colors?
And she papered them walls. We did. We helped her paper. I did. All them walls in that, and it was the loudest paper I ever saw. But
What were the colors?
Huh?
What were the colors?
They were blue and yellow and what flowers. And we covered up the highest paper now, I mean lumber now that there was.
Yeah.
It was cheap then.
Yeah.
And we had a drum stove, if you know what a drum stove is. It's a tin stove made out of round tin, and it don't even have a grate.
I don't know what that is. I haven't seen that.
Well, it's called
Go get your shower.
they call them a drum stove.
Okay.
They're just like a barrel.
Yeah.
They don't have no grate. Just a tin bottom. Well, the bottoms burn out of them all the time. So Daddy just cut a piece of tin, put it back in it,
Yeah.
under it. And Mama kept a big biscuit pan slid under the stove because they would burn out. And coals would fall out the bottom of the stove in that pan, biscuit pan down in under the stove. We lived hard.
Did you have wood floors or did you have what kind of floors?
Yeah, it had wood floors in it. They used to make a lot of poplar flooring
Yeah.
and all. But now Linda wasn't born, didn't live up there.
Oh, you didn't live in the cabin?
So she
They
was.
moved to the old house down on Grandpa's old place.
So
There
you
was a
see,
picture of it in them pictures. Did you want it?
that was
Where is that
I'm
house?
going on 89, and
Not
this
there
was when I
anymore.
was 6 and
Tore
7
down.
years old, 80 some odd years ago.
Oh wait, have I been to that house? No. Where?
You may have when you were real little before it fell down, before Mary Ann and them bought that property over there off of Ring Road.
Mm-hmm.
And